Hello my crafty friends and welcome. It is May 2024 and time once again for the Karen Berniston Designer Challenge. This month Karen has challenged the team to make a card from the vault. A new card based on one that we have made in the past. My card is made using the little twist panel pop-up. This die set is my all-time favorite and I have used it multiple times. I have added 2 mechanisms in this card to give extra space for all the festive elements. I have linked Karen's instruction video below. She is great at showing how to assemble all of her die sets. But since I've made this card so many times, I thought I'd share a few tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So let's just take a look. One of the things that I like to do when I'm making this die set, or a card using this die set, is to make this piece that goes across the mechanism out of the same paper as your decorative panels. I feel that it just makes the card look a lot more cohesive. It's really tempting, and there's actually nothing wrong with making the whole thing out of the same color, but I just like the way it looks. I've done the same thing on this card. As you can see, I've used some of the paper to make this panel, and I just think it brings the whole thing together a little bit better. The other thing you need to keep in mind when you're making this card is you can really put a lot of different things on this mechanism, but the one thing you do need to do is check each time you add something. I like to add mine with repositionable adhesive, test it, close it, make sure it's not anything sticking out of that card because we don't want that. Then open it back up, and if I like the way it's positioned, I just lift it up from the repositionable adhesive and squirt a little glue in there, and it takes care of it. Now it seems redundant, but I open and close it every time I put something on it just to make sure that everything stays within the card. The other thing that is kind of tricky, and it's very tempting to add a greeting right here, which I have done, but I have sunk it in there. I have inlaid it, and I'm going to show you how to do that in case you don't know. But it really does help the mechanism open and close. Nothing catches on that greeting that keeps it from closing correctly. So here's how I do it. Since I've already constructed my card, I'm going to show you how I put the inlay in this card using some scrap paper. The first thing you want to do is take your decorative panel and cut out the word, in this case celebrate, but whatever word or shape you're using. So you want to cut it out of your decorative panel first. And then before you remove the die from the paper, you want to make sure that you save all of these little pieces that come out of the E's, the B, and the A on this particular die. And I have punched them out and saved them right here. We're going to need those to fill in a little later. So then you're going to remove the die from the paper, and it is going to leave you this. And it says celebrate clearly enough, but what I want to do is make mine red. So what I cut out another one in red that I'm going to fill in, and that one is right here. So we're going to use that just a little bit later. Before we get to that, we want to glue our panel on, and right around all of these edges where particularly with a word, a bigger shape it wouldn't matter quite so much, but you want to make sure you get your glue on these little pieces so that they stay attached down to the paper. Okay, so I'm going to attach my decorative panel onto what I'm calling my card base. I'm using the same color so you'll be able to understand it clearly. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to make sure all these pieces are glued down. And it's still a little loose around here, but I can go back and put some glue under there. I'm not too worried about that. So now I'm going to add my Celebrate, and I am going to use glue for this one. But what I normally like to do is cut it using double-sided tape on the back. That way it becomes a sticker, and it is much easier to place in here. But I'm just going to use glue for this demonstration. It fits in just like a puzzle, just perfectly. Okay, so you want to press that down. Make sure that all of those things are down in there where that you want them. Now, as you can see, we have these little blue spots still showing, and that's really not what we want. We want it to look cohesive. So we're going to bring back our little pieces and we're going to add them in. As you can see, some of them still have part of the pattern on them, and that's what we want. So what I'm going to do right here for this little E, and you're going to need either some fine tweezers or a pickup tool for this. So I'm going to pick up this piece that came out of this piece right here. Whoops, I'm going to put it right in there. Right. So you can see by saving those pieces, it makes it look cohesive because the star here is blue and the inside of that letter E is also blue. Now this one is white. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the film here and quickly finish this, just so you get the idea. Okay, so now we have it. I'll give you a little close-up right here so you can see how it looks. It looks seamless, and it also feels seamless. There's no bumps to get caught on your mechanism. The last part of our challenge for this month was to share a picture of our inspiration card. And since I have made so many, I couldn't decide, so I've decided to share 6. If you care to stick around to take a look at all of these photos, I welcome you. Otherwise, thank you for joining me today. I hope my hints have been helpful for you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.